coffee break. Today's tidbit.
All right, it's time for our weekdays coffee break. Today's tidbit, and joining us in the studio, Angela. Angela, hello to you.
Hey, SJ.
How's your weekend?
It was nice. I went home for the weekend.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Is Daegu hot as
It
always?
was actually really cool. It was like I went on a holiday, into the mountains or someplace. It was like only 6 degrees.
Really in Daegu?
Yeah. So we didn't have to put on the air conditioning even during the day, and it was just like so nice.
Today's really nice too.
Yeah.
It's finally what they say, 꺾이다, right? The heat is finally
After
꺾여.
Ichu, the start of fall.
But
But I heard it's going to rain tomorrow.
it's gonna rain. I don't know tomorrow, but I know Wednesday for sure it's gonna rain. But it's supposed to rain a lot, so we have to be careful. Listen to radio, see anything to watch out for there, right?
True, true.
All right, Angela, what are you gonna talk about today?
Well, today's question.
Uh,
Can you name an extinct or endangered animal?
yes,
What?
I could name so many.
Really?
Yes, the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh my god.
Okay, fine. The dodo bird.
Oh, I was gonna already say that.
The dodo bird is extinct. The Tasmanian tiger
Yeah.
is extinct.
I was gonna say the dodo bird. It's like one of the most well-known extinct animals, I think.
You know why it's extinct?
because it can't fly.
Because it's such an idiot. It was a dumb animal.
Yeah.
It really was a
Yeah,
dumb animal.
that's true.
That's why, like, people, like, for dumb people, they call you a dodo bird.
Really?
Yeah, they call him a dodo.
How do you know that? Have you been called one?
Yes, in high school.
No.
That's
You're not
how
supposed to say yes to that.
That's how I know. Someone called me a dodo. But anyways, we're talking about extinct animals today.
No.
What?
We're talking not quite. We're talking
You
about
just wanted that to come out, right? My teacher calling me a dodo bird when I was in high school.
I had no idea you were called a dodo bird. We're talking endangered animals.
Yeah.
More specifically, endangered animals in Korea. But if we don't want to see them go extinct, preservation is really important, which is why today's tidbit might be really uplifting and, useful.
Okay, so which animal are we going to be talking about?
So we're going to start off with the red fox, the 붉은요 in Korean. It's classified as a class 1 endangered species here in Korea. But just last week, the Korean National Park Service released 30 young red foxes back into the wild at Sobaeksan National Park.
Do you know the scientific name for the 붉은요?
No.
SJ's ex-girlfriend. That's
Okay. So the reason they needed to be introduced
Go ahead. Why were they reintroduced?
up until the 1970s, you could find red foxes all over South Korea. During the national rat eradication campaign during the 70s and 80s, many foxes actually died off because of secondary poisoning caused by the pesticides used to kill rats. And by 2004, the species had almost vanished. One was found dead in Gangwon-do province that year, which triggered questions about whether any wild population still survived. And that eventually led to the launch of the Red Fox Restoration Project in 2012.
I remember the rat eradication campaign because, they used to put rat poison just about everywhere.
Yeah,
And
I heard.
I remember when I used to live in Gyeonggi-do, Gwangju, Opo-up, before I immigrated to the U.S., there was a stray dog that everyone loved. Right? It was almost like we all owned, like we were all part of this dog's, life, right?
He ate rat poison?
He did.
Oh, no.
And so he died. And I remember that. And I was just trying to figure out why he died. And then my mom, I remember her explaining later on, it's because of the rat poison. that
I've
they
heard
used to bring.
stories like that. And, just like the stray dog, the red foxes were influenced by the rat poison.
Absolutely. And are we seeing results, though?
Yes. Back in the early years of the project between 2013 and 2018, only about 2 or 3 fox pups were born each year. But after years of trial and error, breeding techniques improved dramatically. And since 2019, about 30 pups have been born annually. They did this by giving each fox enough space to reduce stress, matching males and females based on compatibility, and encouraging natural mating. So the Red Fox Restoration Project has been really seeing improvements.
So the 30 foxes released now, were they all wild born or in captivity?
Most of them were. About 90% were born last year, wild born. And instead of forcing them out, the Park Services leaves the restoration facility's doors open so the foxes can leave when they're ready. It usually takes over 10 days for all of them to go. And in 2023, it took 10 days. Last year, it took 23 days.
Okay, now here's the big question, though. once they're in the wild, though,
Yes.
is it smooth sailing from then on?
So that's the thing. It's not really very smooth sailing.
No.
Foxes really can face big threats: roadkill, illegal traps, pesticides again, and disease. In fact, 28% of reintroduced foxes have died from these causes, and early survival rates are pretty low, which makes it harder to build a stable population. But that's why the Red Fox Restoration Project track each fox with GPS for up to 3 years. If a fox disappears from tracking after the battery dies, they assume it's adopted well to the wild. So it's all trial and error, but now it's working better, and it's really helping the red fox, red fox.
Our producer was pointing out, this, I kid you not, this scared me silly.
Yeah, I've seen one too.
First morning in London, I woke up at like 3 in the morning and I stepped outside for some fresh air. And then in front of me, I thought it was coyotes first.
It was a fox.
It was 2 foxes looking
Yeah.
at me. And I'm going, am I supposed to run? What am I supposed to do here? I don't know what to do in this case. I've never seen this. And then later I find out it wasn't a coyote.
It was a
It was
fox.
fox. There was
Yeah.
2 foxes. And you just kind of, they linger around like hotel areas.
Yeah.
Looking for scraps,
Trash,
right?
yeah.
Like food waste and things like that.
I remember I also woke up early in the morning when I was in London, and I opened the curtains and there were 2 foxes just outside the door.
They move in pairs.
Yeah,
Yos, man.
smart. Maybe
Such yos.
we might see an increase in red foxes in Korea too, and might
No,
see them in the
no.
city.
I don't want them to be roaming around. It's a
Yeah.
little bit scary, to be honest with you. But again, this all sounds more than just about foxes,
Yeah,
right?
so the foxes are what we call mid-level predators. They keep populations of rodents, birds, frogs, and snakes in check, which helps maintain the balance of the ecosystem. Their survival is tied to the health of the whole environment, so really making sure they don't go extinct is really important.
Are there other endangered animals in Korea singing similar success, maybe?
Yes, and one adorable example is the otter.
You know, I did not know that otters were endangered.
Well, really?
I found out like a couple of years ago because my brother-in-law has a weird fascination for otters.
Okay.
But anyways,
Yes, the otter. Cute animals are more prone to going endangered, I
true.
think.
It is true.
Yeah, but like just in June, a pair of otters named Talsun and Sudor had twin pups at Seoul's Children's Grand Park. This is the first time Eurasian otters have been born there, and the zoo is holding an Instagram naming contest for the twins. These otters are also a Class 1 endangered species in the country and already extinct in countries like Japan, but preservation is going well in Korea, and I actually used to see some in Daegu. Some live in the stream.
Yeah. That's my brother-in-law lives in
Yeah,
Daegu, and he's
exactly.
always going there at the stream and like looking at otters.
You can sometimes see one.
So between red foxes and otters, I feels like there's a lot of progress being made.
Definitely. And it's all part of a bigger effort in Korea to protect its endangered wildlife, from animals like the 반달 가슴공, Asian black bear in Chirisan Mountain, to the long-tailed coral, 산양. But it's not just about breeding, it's also about tackling bigger threats like climate change, which we'll get into after the song break.
After the fox went from almost being extinct to being able to, increase their numbers, you know what they said afterwards?
What?
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, God.
Speaking of foxes, let's take a listen to a song here from Boa with Fox. What does a fox say? Does anybody know how a fox sounds like?
하디, 하디, 하디.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Good song by the way. We've been discussing Korea's efforts to preserve endangered species like the red fox,
Yes.
the otter. Before the break, you mentioned climate change as one of the threats. How does that connect to endangered animals?
So climate change can hit endangered species in multiple ways by shrinking their habitats, disrupting food chains, and even changing their body functions. In South Korea, research shows species like the flying squirrel, the long-tailed owl, and the black woodpecker will remain vulnerable even if greenhouse gas emissions are reduced. So their impact is really, palpable.
So it's not just about the weather being different, like it's about survival in itself.
Exactly. So take Hallasan's Korean fir trees, for example. They've lost about 39% of their forest area in just 20 years because of warmer winters, less snowfall, and more droughts. So plants are also affected, and since they're usually at the bottom of the food chain, it trickles up and directly affects animals as well.
That's big.
Yeah.
39%?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How are the animals specifically affected by the climate change though?
So for animals like reptiles and amphibians, rising temperatures can actually speed up aging. And in places like Mexico, some lizard populations have already declined by 12%. And global projections say 20% of lizards could be gone by 2080 if trends continue. And so, they're really disappearing quickly.
No, I mean, these are big figures now.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about like 1 or 2%. You're talking about double-digit figures here. It's drastic.
Exactly. And I also recently saw a post on social media, just 2 weeks ago about a pregnant jaguar approaching a car to just lie beneath its shade because the heat was so intense. And wildlife usually don't approach humans so voluntarily. So the change is actually more tangible. And, speaking of the heat, I would say it's safe to say that Korea isn't so different in facing such danger because, scientists are saying that the summer we had this year will be the coolest summer we'll ever have from now on.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But now I really can't see now why breeding programs are important. And we saw how the panda breeding program has really helped quite a bit. I believe giant pandas are no longer endangered.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah, so it's hard. It took years and years and years to do this, and I'm assuming it's maybe easier to make other animals mate than giant pandas. They're
I hope we see the same, effect in red foxes as well.
Yeah, definitely. And again, they can't work alone. That's just the thing.
Right. So they need to be paired with habitat protection as well, and also anti-poaching laws and public cooperation. That's why the Korea National Park Service is working with local governments, road agencies, and even appointing residents as honorary rangers to monitor traps and educate the community. Do you remember we interviewed a person who was, just a school teacher, but he was really intent on saving bengkongi.
The funny-looking frogs.
Yeah, that's a good example. Normal people like us can actually help save endangered species.
And how else is the message for preservation spread?
In really creative ways as well, through postage stamps, for example.
Oh, yeah.
In July, Korea released commemorative stamps featuring 4 internationally endangered animals, including the Indian python and the rhinoceros iguana.
Whoa.
That was a mouthful. The goal is to raise awareness and stop illegal wildlife trade, which is unfortunately on the rise even here in Korea.
It is a reminder that this isn't just a nature problem, but it's people problem, right?
Exactly. Over 50% of the world's species are at risk of extinction, and humans are the main reason, unfortunately. But we also have the tools to reverse some of the damage that, we've done.
Okay, like what?
So preservation efforts, like we mentioned earlier about the red fox, help, but it can also be done through advanced science. For instance, Korea recently saw a breakthrough in stem cell technology for the long-tailed squirrel, or sanyang, and, also simply reducing everyday threats like pesticides and habitat destruction, for people like you and me also works.
All right. So in the end, the survival of the species like the red fox depends on whether we choose to coexist.
Exactly. That's the heart of it. And, if you protect them, we're also protecting the ecosystems we rely on. So ultimately, we are protecting ourselves.
All right. There you have it. John over in DC says, SJ is such a bad influence on Angela. He's spreading too much dad joke energy. She was rocking to this Fox song the whole time when I was talking about this. Angela, thank you so much for this. Have a safe one. We'll see you again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Sending her out of the studios. Take a listen to a song here from External Heroes with Save Me.
Coffee break. Today's tidbit.
All right, it's time for our weekdays coffee break. Today's tidbit. And joining us in the studio, Angela. Angela, hello to you.
Hi, SJ.
Angela?
Yes.
What are we going to talk about today?
You might need to jog your memory a bit.
Oh, man.
Remember I asked you before what you might gift to a friend who's visiting South Korea?
When did you ask me this?
It was when we were talking about rice.
Rice?
Japan's rice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They have issues with rice, and then a lot of people are sending. And then am I gonna go? Are you gonna give rice and stuff like that?
And you said you wouldn't know what to give people.
I wouldn't know, but I did gift my sister-in-law or soon-to-be sister-in-law, her family, 젓가락 숟가락.
Oh, that's a good one.
But that was a big punch in the face, though.
Why?
Because I heard that Chinese people can't use Korean chopsticks.
Oh, they're Chinese.
Oh yeah, they're Chinese American, and so they couldn't use. But it was just a gift from Korea, and then her dad was. I gave her a traditional soju-chan.
Oh, that's good.
Customized. That's all I could think of.
Well, I have an answer for you now.
All right, what are you going to give?
Besides rice, I brought you an answer you might not expect. You just need to visit the Korean National Museum of Korea.
Oh, man.
Why?
I'm going to go far.
It's in Yongsan. It's not too far.
That's right. It's in Yongsan, right? I keep thinking about what is it? When it used to be at the...
Yeah, it moved to Yongsan in 2005.
It's a lot closer now.
Yes.
Okay. I wouldn't have thought of this as a go-to gift shopping spot, to be honest with you. Museum shop. I think, are you going to talk about a gift shop or something like that?
Yeah, so that's what's changing. Lately, the National Museum of Korea, or 국립중앙박물관, which is located in Yongsan, not elsewhere, has become a hotspot for both foreign tourists and young Koreans, not just for the exhibitions, but for its museum shop. In fact, this summer it's turned into a K-tourism landmark.
Why the sudden boom, though? I mean, it's like, I know some people really like gift shops, but to say that there's a boom is a next level thing.
So, okay, a lot of people have been visiting the Korean National Museum for a mix of reasons besides the gift shop, starting with the weather. Seoul's had a scorching summer, and for many foreign visitors, the museum is a really cool, comfortable, alternative to outdoor sites like Gyeongbokgung or Myeongdong. So that's the reason a lot of people have been visiting. A lot of people, to give you an exact number, on August 6th, for example, there were already 400 people lined up 30 minutes before opening, and that number jumped to about 700 right before 10 a.m. And the director of the museum said visitors lined up an hour before opening on weekends, which is a 92% increase over the same period last year. And last month, the National Museum had over 694,000 visitors, which is double the number from the same time last year, and they're on track to break 4 million for the year, an all-time record. So a lot of people have been visiting the museum.
So it's not just about history anymore now, okay? And I know that there's a lot of people... I'm sure they could go there and look at stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pop culture connections as well?
So, people visiting it weren't just locals. Visitors came from France, the U.S., Japan, and Italy. Some to avoid heat, others to dodge heavy rain. An American couple told reporters they were glad they skipped Gyeongbokgung that day because they would have been boiled alive in the city heat. So, it's not just culture. Weather is affecting the visits as well.
Yeah. I'm sure. This is incredible. There's just so many people that are visiting there right now. But makes sense, though, right? We talked about how, movie theaters are a good place to go when it's like really hot. Museums are also very cool. And plus, you could spend the entire day there. Yeah,
and you wouldn't get bored, right? No. And, the museum also has cafes. It has a restaurant.
Yep.
Yeah, it has free exhibitions as well. But, as you mentioned, culture, K-content is helping drive the crowds as well.
Okay, so tell us how so.
Yeah, so I know I've been mentioning it a lot lately, but the recent animation K-pop Demon Hunters.
They're the big craze right now.
Yes, it's really been a huge hit, and one of the characters resembles a folk-style tiger from the museum's collection. I mentioned it before. There was this Korean traditional painting showing a tiger and a gachi.
Which we're going to show right now from the K-pop Demon Hunter producer's guide. There it is.
So that character is based off a Korean traditional painting, and there is a badge that sells at the Korean National Museum. It actually was released last year, but because of the K-pop Demon Hunters, it's gaining a lot of popularity. And, the magpie and tiger badge has now become really legendary. In fact, it sold out instantly. The museum is saying...
10차?
Yes,
판매 완료?
exactly.
This is the 10th time it's sold out?
Exactly, and people have to, now wait to buy it.
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to resell this in 2026 of January.
Yeah, it's crazy popular. People are lining up outside just to buy this badge.
You know what I realized from watching that cat? It looks like the cat from Alice in Wonderland.
It's not a cat, it's a tiger.
Sorry. Tiger looks like the cat from the Alice in Wonderland. But it says literally gachi 호랑이 badge.
Yeah, magpie and tiger badge.
And is that from that's from actual painting?
I showed you the actual painting last time.
Yeah.
You can just look it up, magpie and tiger, Korean traditional painting. But all of this brings us to the goods craze. The museum sells a lot of different types of goods that aren't your typical, I went to museum souvenirs. You would think like a magnet or something, right?
Yep.
These souvenirs, the Korean National Museum are really, interesting. And the primary reason a lot of visitors are going out of their way to visit it.
All right, so give us an example. Like, what do they have?
So I prepared a lot of photos, but we're talking like miniature statues. This famous pensive bodhisattva is, BTS RM owns one, and that's why it gained a lot of popularity. The one we're going to show right now is a special version that came out just for Liberation Day. It's holding a taegukgi. And that one also sold out almost instantly on site, and it's still selling on the website. And then there are like different ones like moonjar keychains, 달항아리 keychains. And then another really interesting one is a beach towel inspired by royal dragon robes, 굴룡포 beach towel. This one is also so famous that it sold out instantly. You can't currently buy it on the site, but I believe it's still at the museum. So it looks like, the royal robes.
Yeah. That's like the royal insignia during the Joseon Dynasty.
Exactly. And, I visited the website and I ended up, just browsing it for hours almost. There's this really pretty memo that features like traditional 단청 pattern. And it was so pretty. It was really tempting for me. So, yeah, they have featured a lot of really interesting, items that are really useful, really traditional. And, the website is organized and features categories such as stationery, fashion, interior, kitchen tools, plates, books, digital goods, and so much more. They're beautiful, practical, and full of cultural storytelling, so you might want to check it out.
Angela, it just seems like it's true what you're saying, because Napin's over in Samsung-dong. She says the beach towel, you can never get it now. Even if you do an open run, you can't get it. You have to camp out.
Yeah. And like people are waiting like 2 hours before opening. And then there's another one I thought that a lot of people who, might be interested in, because of, K-content, K-pop Demon Hunters, there's this thing called 갓잔.
Oh, we talked about 갓 before?
Yes. So this is a cup and saucer.
Oh, it's the cup upside down.
Yes, a cup and saucer, cup upside down. It looks like a kat, a Korean traditional hat. And I thought this was just really clever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, I'm guessing, since, we got Samsung don't getting all excited for this. The younger generation is really into this.
Yes, very much so. For Gen Z millennials, buying these goods isn't just about looks, but it really has the potential to connect with Korean culture and also Korean identity. It can show history. Their cultural history. And, they also want to know the history behind the designs and then, share that story on social media. So it's really, I think a positive circle. And, they look pretty, so why not?
Oh, man. Stuff people spend money on, right? It's cool, though. I'm not going to lie.
It's a good gift.
It is a good gift.
Yes.
It is a good gift. But I don't even think I'll gift this if it's that rare to get. I want it for myself if it's that rare.
Well, the 갓잔 isn't sold out.
Okay. Maybe that. Not the ones that sold out. I have to have it for myself. Since we talked about gifts, we're going to take a listen to a song here from Mellow Monks with Summer or Gift. Right, that was Mellow Monks with a 선물 or gift. And something that was mentioned on our chat box. We don't have super chat. Arina, I wish Arina has super chat, but we don't have super chat.
You can't gift us anything.
Can you imagine how much money I'll be raking in from all the dancing I was doing and stuff?
Seriously?
Yes.
You think your dancing would earn us some money?
Definitely. But no, we are a government-run broadcast station, so that's not going to happen. In fact, I was asking our producer when he's going to start dancing on our show, and he said if we get super chat money, and I realized we can't get any. Oh, me and you, YouTube? What are we going to talk about? Retirement?
You're pushing your...
Oh, he's the engineer. He's the producer. Oh, I thought us too.
The two of you sit down and talk about retirement. Your early retirement.
His soon-to-be retirement. I don't know. He said he's going to bring me down with him, so I don't want to do it with him. I'm scared. Anyways, we've been discussing how the Korean National Museum is getting popularity for its gifts that you could buy at get the gift
Yes.
shop. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so these goods are really popular, so much popular, in fact, that the museum reports that traditional goods sales jumped 42% year on year, with foreign buyers making up nearly 17% of the purchases. And, looking at the photos, it really makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess this means that they sell out quickly, basically.
Yeah, we mentioned it. A lot of the items are completely gone, also because of, K-pop Demon Hunters, also Liberation Day. But, they're so popular that there's even a limit now on certain products. You can only buy 2 of the same items. You can't buy a lot at the same time. Yeah.
Okay. So what else is popular over there?
This was interesting. The Korean National Museum is getting really creative with creating souvenirs people might want. They've even collaborated with Starbucks.
Oh, come on. Stop it now. Stop it now. Is another tumbler or another cup and stuff like
Yeah.
that? Well, tell us about this. What are they doing?
So, starting on August 7th, Starbucks Korea launched a 7-item collection inspired by the museum's 사유회방, Room of Quiet Contemplation, which houses 2 gilt bronze pensive bodhisattvas from the Three Kingdoms period. And the museum and the cafe took the shared star motif, the logo, and the room's serene starlit atmosphere, and created, everything from mugs, tumblers, to even glow-in-the-dark glasses and pearl-beaded mini bags.
Capitalism at its best. Something that I probably don't want, but I also did not expect the Korea Museum, National Museum, to collaborate, to be honest with you.
And the star of the lineup is this barista figurine reimagined as a pensive bodhisattva paired with a mug. So yeah, you can get them nationwide online. And I think this is actually a good souvenir again for people who visit Korea. You don't have to necessarily visit the Korean National Museum if you don't have time, but still get a piece of it.
Yeah, so I know that a lot of people, even if they're not a big fan of the cafe themselves, what they do is they collect cups or tumblers from each country, because each country has a special one.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember our camera director for our documentary 2 years ago when we were in London, he's like going around every Starbucks trying to get like the London version. And I think we were even in Leeds. We stopped by Leeds and we were at a Starbucks and he's like, I got to get the Leeds one. I was like, why do you have to get one from every city of every country? He's like, it's just my thing.
Korea has, different versions for different cities as well. But I think this is really clever because it's about making traditional culture feel approachable, and fun. And, for younger visitors who might not normally stop by a museum, these goods might become a reason to go. And, once they're there, they often explore the exhibitions too. So, why not?
Oh, man. I was looking for an Anyang.
Is there an Anyang?
No, there's Gyeonggi.
Yeah.
There's just Gyeonggi, though. But
I remember the Gyeongju one looked really interesting.
Oh, yeah. But I would say Gyeongju would have it. But, man, I'm upset. Anyang doesn't have
Would you
this.
go to the gift shop, the Korean National Museum gift shop, now that I've told you all the interesting things that are there?
Well, the ones that I want are all sold out, so...
I mean, they might still have offline museum shops.
Maybe. But again, these are all stuff that I can see where the collectors are just going to go buck wild on,
yeah.
right?
And, museum fans are thrilled that, this collaboration is introducing traditional culture to an even wider audience, so I think it's good.
Definitely so. But I want to ask you this,
Yes.
though. All of this is happening alongside, official visits that we talked about. Are there official visits that are happening right now?
So this was an interesting thing. Just on Monday, First Lady Kim Hae-kyung toured the museum with the Vietnamese party leader's wife, Ung Ho-pong Lee, highlighting pieces like the pensive bodhisattva we saw, the moon jar, and they even chatted about K-pop Demon Hunters while looking at these. They stopped by the museum shop as well, where the Liberation edition of the bodhisattva miniature was a talking point. And, the guest even considered buying the dragon rope beach towel. So, I think it's telling that even high-profile diplomatic guests make time to browse the shop. It shows how these goods have become cultural ambassadors in their own right.
How should you have a chance to buy the beach robe?
I think it's still offline. Like I said, I think
my
it sells
gosh.
at the offline shop.
Okay, but again,
Yeah.
I mean, when like world leaders are talking about this is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. So, whether you're a tourist escaping the hot or rainy weather, you're just a K-content fan hunting for the magpie badge, or even if you're a visiting dignitary, the National Museum of Korea is the place to be right now. It's no longer just a place to look at the past. It's really a part of Korea's present cultural wave, and you can take a piece of that home with you. And, they have a lot of cool and aesthetically pleasing stuff that I would actually like to buy something as well. So check it out.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you're visiting us, there's something to buy for everybody. Angela, as always, thank you very much for your tip-in. Have a safe rest of your night. We'll see you again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Sending her out of the studio, let's take a listen to a song here from Eider with Good Thing.
Today's tidbit.
All right, it's time for our weekdays coffee break. Today's tip-in, and joining us in the studio is Angela. Angela, hello to
Hi,
you.
SJ.
Angela,
Yes.
we had a very interesting conversation. Both of us,
Yes.
we're both eyes,
Yes.
which means that we don't really, converse
Yeah.
with people, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we just, I'm not going to use the term that Irish described me with, but when we're just kind of like sitting around
Yes.
nonchalantly,
We have intimidating expressions.
we have very mean expressions. And so there was a lot of misunderstandings.
Yeah.
I always thought Angela was very scary.
Really?
Yes. Did you think I was scary?
Not really.
Don't you remember the interview that we had?
I just thought like you had something on your mind.
Oh, there was nothing in my mind.
Like I just thought you were distracted and you were really busy.
No, I apologize to everyone who thought I was very mean or I didn't like you or something like that. I just want to get that out of the way.
But it's a good thing also. If you really do dislike someone, you can just say, "Oh, it's just my expression."
No, if I don't like somebody, I tell them I don't like them. I'm actually very straightforward, so that's that. Anyways, let's talk about today's tip. What do you have for us?
Do you remember when we talked about Culture Day last month?
Oh, was that with the movie and stuff?
Yeah. So, we mentioned at the time that the government was handing out coupons to use at movie theaters. But this time, the government is actually going bigger about performances and exhibitions.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, right after you talked about those discount movie theaters, Key, next door neighbor, he was like, "Oh, man, I've been taking advantage of like the discount coupons."
Oh, good.
I was like, "We talked about that on the show. Did you know that?" He's like, "Oh."
Oh, I was thinking you were gonna say he heard it on
no.
today's
No,
tidbit.
he just found out. But anyways, tell us about this.
So this time, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism started distributing a whopping 2.1 million discount coupons for performances and exhibitions nationwide. It already started on August 8th.
Ooh, oh my god, 2.1 million?
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is.
How does it work?
So from August 8th to September 19th, you can get up to 2 coupons per person per ticket site. And there are 5 ticketing platforms you can use: Nordticket, Melon Ticket, Time Ticket, TicketLink, and Yes24. There are 500,000 performance coupons worth 10,000 won each, and 1.6 million exhibition coupons worth 3,000 won each. And you can use them for shows you plan to watch before the end of November.
Oh my goodness, this is good.
Yeah.
But as with stuff like this, they went out very
As
fast,
with the
right?
movies,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Incredibly fast this time. The performance coupons were out in under 10 minutes on the first day of release. Websites also experienced traffic delays, like in the case with movie coupons, which had, especially for the Time Ticket site, which had exclusive coupons for non-capital regions. But I think, all this buzz just shows how much interest there is in cultural events, when the price barrier is lowered in South Korea.
I did not know so many Koreans are so cultured.
Unlike you, SJ.
Unlike me. Unlike me. I might have been like the only person that was not excited. There was a lot of people excited for this. Musicals or plays,
Yes.
they can be very expensive, and so this is a big deal.
Yes, exactly. Some musicals these days can go over 200,000 won.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah, so 10,000 won discount is really meaningful. And, the whole goal of this isn't just to help individuals, but also to boost attendance for regional performances and exhibitions as well.
Angela, I did go to musicals in the past.
Oh, really?
Yes. The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You thought it was boring.
It was good for like the first 10 minutes. and then I fell asleep. How does the coupons help with this, though?
The major performance coupons might already be gone, but if you live outside Seoul, Gyeonggi-do province, or Incheon, you could get extra coupons for local events still. Plus, they've also set up phone reservation systems so that seniors or people with disabilities who aren't used to online booking can still get the coupons. And furthermore, foreigners who can verify their identity and register as members are eligible for discount coupons as well.
Okay, so it seems like the government is making a big push to get people back into theaters and galleries and stuff like this.
Yes, definitely. People like you, SJ.
Let's try harder.
This is part of a broader cultural support effort, and if it proves successful, we might see these initiatives continue. So it's worth keeping an eye out for similar campaigns in the future. And, that's why I thought it was worth mentioning, even if major coupons for performances may have already been sold out.
Now, Angela, are there any other ways that people can enjoy performances without having to break their wallet?
Yeah, sure. There are other programs too, like the Seoul Youth Culture Pass or 서울 청년 문화 패스. If you're between the ages of 20 and 23 years old, you live in Seoul and meet certain income requirements, you can get 200,000 won per year to spend on cultural activities like musicals, plays, and exhibitions. So this is really great for, young adults.
Man, I wish I had this when I was
Right?
20 to 23.
Right. I really wish they had this when I was in college.
When I was young, I was very cultured. I used to go, we talked about this during our meeting today. I used to go to Haewadong all the time to go to like the theaters and stuff like that because I was big into like acting, right, doing theater work. But this is generous for the kids. I mean, especially because, come on, money doesn't come easy for people in their 20s, right?
Exactly.
But here's the question I always have when it comes to these lovely benefits. Can foreigners apply as well?
Yes, that's the greatest part.
Okay, wait, I'm not even part of this thing.
But you're not 23.
Like,
you wish. Yeah, but I think this is the great thing. Registered foreigners and overseas Koreans living in Seoul can also apply for the 서울 청년 문화 패스. Applications for the second round are open until August 21st, and they're selecting around 6,000 people this time. The pass is already hugely popular. 93% of users said it helped their cultural life, and 96% said they wanted to participate again. So basically, whether you're a student, a young professional, or just a big fan of the arts, you can get a chance to experience cultural activities more affordably if you live in Seoul.
I want to read this message because I think this is cool. Forky, who's over in Germany, says, it reminds me of something the German government did for a year. Gave everyone who turned 18 or will soon, 200 euros for culture stuff, concerts, exhibition, and I spent mine for a microphone. That's
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to make music and stuff like
200
that.
euros is roughly 200,000 won, isn't it?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. That's good stuff. I mean, it worked. We're going to try to do this. I mean, it seems like it's working here too. But there are a lot of ways to enjoy culture, right? Without having to use a lot of money. That's just the thing.
Yes, that's the good thing. And, besides performances or exhibitions, the government is also providing, even more. For instance, take the fall and winter travel 속박 sale festa or stay sale festa. This time, the government is handing out 800,000 accommodation discount coupons for domestic trips. So people who are planning to travel during the long Chuseok break might want to check that one out.
Ooh, that's good. And
Maybe you can travel with your family.
Whoa. Well, I don't know about that. With, 2 kids, it's hard to travel. I'm just making excuses right now. But I've always wondered this. Like, they always give this, 숙박, accommodation discount coupons, but I never understood how to get it.
Oh, you can just go on the website, or you can, there are various, applications where you can...
Actually, I get that coupon and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can just get the coupon before you make your reservation. So it's actually very easy to use. You don't have to do a lot of digging.
I'm an idiot. I always thought it was like when the government gives you stuff, it's just kind of given to you. I thought it was one of those things you get one in the mail and go like, here, use some coupons.
That is so American of you.
I know. Give me my check. Give me my check.
That is so American of you. In Korea, everything is very easy and very accessible. Yeah, maybe the U.S. could learn that.
The U.S. could actually learn a lot from Korea, more than this, actually. And it really does, the government is really making the arts and culture more accessible for Koreans, but also people living in Korea generally.
Yeah. And I think it's great, especially for a country, where people are so hardworking all the time. This just lowers the barrier for a lot of people. And, there are also a lot of cultural events you can enjoy immediately right now, especially if you're into movies and the summer sky.
I wonder what this is going to take us to. We'll continue to talk about this, but first, let's take a listen to a song here from Low Kid featuring Yuyeon with the Cocktail Love, Cocktail Sarang. Low Kid featuring Yuyeon with Cocktail Love, Cocktail Sarang, and I think, there's not a lot of things that Angela and I can come to an agreement with, but I think we all agree we like the original better.
I chose the song in the first place because the lyrics talk about going to the museum on a rainy day.
I wonder who chose the remake.
Intense stare at original.
He's not even looking at me right now. We've been talking about ways people in Korea might be able to enjoy culture more affordably, but you also said that we could enjoy something right away.
Yes.
What's happening?
So, have you noticed the weather has been cooling off a bit after Ipchu, the start of the, autumn in the Korean calendar?
Except for yesterday, yes.
Yeah, so, thanks to that, outdoor movie events are in full swing.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's cooler. One big one is the 2025 한강 다리 및 영화제 movie festival under the Hangang Bridge for 3 Saturdays from August 9th to August 23rd. Spots under Wonhyo, Cheongdam, Cheonho bridges transform into free outdoor cinemas.
Is that one of the things that you talked about, things you could do in the Hangang?
This is a different
this is
thing.
a different,
This is a different event. Yeah, there are a lot of events happening near Hangang these days.
Okay, now with these, the most important thing is, what are they going to show?
Yeah, exactly. You want to see a movie, a good movie, right?
Dumb and Dumber.
What?
No?
A good movie? So they're showing a mix of family films, blockbusters, and even historical epics. So, sir, there's really something for everyone. For example, during the first week, they screened Wonka and the 2021 film 기적 or Miracle Letters to the President. And this coming weekend, in honor of Korea's 80th Liberation Day, they're showing the Isun-shin Naval Battle Trilogy, the Admiral, Roaring Currents, Myeongnyang, Hansan, Rising Dragon, and Norang, Deadly Sea at each bridge. And for the finale on the 23rd, there's the first outdoor screening of the latest Korean superhero comedy film, High Five. And they're also giving out free cooling towels and water just in case it does get hot. So, you don't have to worry about that one.
It's a lot. It's a vast, different genres too.
But I think
genres
it's a good
too.
lineup.
I mean, I would watch Wonka. I would want to watch Wonka.
Yeah.
Admiral Myeongnyang, I watched this movie. I was
really?
I was half and half about it. The first hour and a half was it was too historic for me. And then the second hour and a half was
It's 3 hours long?
No, it wasn't 3 hours. It was pretty long though. It was pretty long. But it was good battle scenes. I like the second half of it. But any other cool outdoor screenings?
Yes, there's the 엄빠랑 영화광장 Mom and Dad Movie Square. Can you guess what they'll play by the name?
Like kiddie stuff?
Yeah, so it's held in Mapo from August 25th to September 3rd, and they're showing 8 family-friendly animations like Coco, Frozen, Toy Story 3, all on a giant outdoor screen. So this one is great for families with young children, people like you, SJ.
I already watched it.
But your kid hasn't.
I already watched it.
But your kid hasn't. But Toy Story 3, you could watch twice.
Is that the one where they go into the furnace?
No. I don't think so.
Which one's the one with the furnace? Is that number 2?
Isn't that number 2? Toy Story 3 is the one that makes you cry.
That's the one where they go into the furnace or something, right? I think I mean the first one was great. Don't get me wrong. I watched the first one like 10 times probably.
Then you can watch the third one with your kid.
I don't think I watched the third one. Maybe this is the one.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe you should go.
But is it like Lord of the Rings, where if they watch number 3, they're gonna like, what's going on here? Why are the toys moving?
Maybe.
But this is all in Seoul, right?
Yes.
But what if people like me, living outside of Seoul?
So there's the 고향 돗자리 영화제, 고향 Picnic Film Festival at the end of the month, which is like a picnic meet cinema vibe. So it's more laid back, and they're screening a classic here. E.T.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Steven Spielberg's classic. So this also you might want to check.
Man, I used
Take
to
your
live in
kid.
Goyang. Now I'm far from Goyang.
Yeah.
They're going. Wow, I love this. They're going retro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and Gyeonggi-do province is also hosting the Gyeonggi Jandibat Yeonghaje or Lawn Movie Festival every weekend until September 7th with titles ranging from Amsal, Assassination.
Ooh, good movie.
Yes, and to Kung Fu Panda 4.
Oh, good movie.
A lot of variety. So you've watched Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yes. I watched all Kung Fu Pandas.
So yeah, this event provides barrier-free screenings for viewers with disabilities as well when they screen Coda.
I love this.
Yeah,
I love this. They're mixing entertainment with accessibility. That's good.
And do you remember what I told you before? Do you remember what Coda stands for?
The Korean.
No, CODA.
Oh, cinema.
No. I told you before on today's tidbit.
I don't even remember what yesterday's tidbit was.
It's barrier-free children of
Disability. Oh, deaf. Accessibility?
deaf adults.
Deaf adults, okay.
I think it's
children of deaf adults.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
yeah,
apologize.
so yeah, but like these events are not only happening in Korea, it's also happening overseas. The Korean Cultural Center in New York is holding a special Korean film series called Beyond Liberation, screening everything from historical films like Harbin and Dongju, and for Korea's 80th liberation anniversary, also to modern classics like Parasite and Old Boy. Must
good
see.
movies.
Yeah, so and it's also free.
Yeah.
So if you're in New York, you might want to check that one out.
Yeah, so I mean, whether you're in Korea or abroad in this
Mm-hmm.
case, I mean, the month is packed with ways to enjoy culture without spending much,
Mm-hmm.
which is always important when everything seems so expensive, and sometimes it's even free.
Yeah, exactly. And the government, with the government continuing to fund and expand these cultural programs, I think we're going to see more and more people engaging with the arts. Hopefully you too, SJ.
Yes.
I'm always pushing
She
you.
is. She's trying hard. Forky says Kung Fu Panda 4. What about the other 3 before? No, I watched all 4. I watched all 4.
I think I actually stopped at 3.
No, it's good. I actually watched 4 with my kid at the movie theater, so he thought it was too long. Kids have a shorter attention span. That's the thing. All right, Angela, thank you very much for today's tidbit. Have a fantastic one, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Sending her out of the studio, let's take a listen to a song here from Zion T with Movie Theater 영화관.
Coffee break. Today's tidbit.
All right, it's time for our coffee break. Today's tidbit. Angela joins us in the studio. Angela, hello to you.
Hi, SJ.
Angela, as much as I want a small talk, I'm told we don't have a lot of time.
Okay.
What are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about food again.
Yeah. Good food?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you like hamburgers?
Do I like hamburgers? don't I look like I like hamburgers?
You look like you like hamburgers.
I love hamburgers.
Yes. But what's your favorite American food then?
Sandwiches. But I like hot sandwiches. Like Reuben, like a Reuben sandwich. But I also like a good Italian.
I like Reuben sandwiches as well.
It's good. I haven't had a good Reuben sandwich in
Did you
Korea.
call them American food though?
Yeah, it's from it came from like a Jewish deli. It started
Yeah.
off in a Jewish deli.
Reuben is named after the man who made it.
Reuben.
Yeah.
Mr. Reuben.
Yeah, Mr. Reuben made it, and
sandwiches are made after the what is it? The Duke of Sandwich.
Lord Sandwich.
Duke of Sandwich or
Yeah.
something like that. But anyways.
Yeah, well, since we're talking about food, I think you'll like today's story because
Sure.
one of Korea's biggest burger chains has just made a bold move into the U.S. market.
I saw this.
You saw it.
I saw this. The funny thing is the signs in Korea is in English, but if you go to America and
It's
see
in
this, it's in
Korean.
Korean.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this chain.
Yeah, so Loteria just opened its very first U.S. location in Fullerton, California, an area with a big Korean and Asian community. And even before the official grand opening, they held a soft opening a couple days ago, and the turnout was huge. Like, people were waiting long lines under the hot sun, even for up to an hour, with staff handing out umbrellas and water to the people waiting. Like, people were waiting to eat Loteria, and that would sound quite weird to Koreans.
Here's a picture.
Yeah.
There's people waiting online.
Yeah.
And again, the sign says Loteria in Korean.
Yeah, so it looks like it's in Korea, but actually that's in Fullerton, California right now.
Yeah. The funny thing is, again, here in Korea, Loteria is written in English, but there. But again, Lotteria is one of those like tertiary, not even secondary. I wouldn't even say it's like secondary franchise burger joint. It's a tertiary burger joint, but it's so popular. I don't understand how it became so big and how much noise it's making in the U.S.
Yeah, that's really the interesting part, I think, as well. Like, one of the stars at the Fullerton store is the bulgogi burger, which, again, to South Koreans, that sounds a little weird because, it's just a beef patty layered with, bulgogi sauce, but Lotteria made adjustments for the local market to the Korean classic bulgogi burger, and TikTok videos from the event went viral, and Koreans online were saying things like, if we got this quality in Korea, Lotteria would beat Burger King and Starbucks combined, because as you can see in the photo, the patty is really thick. It looks really good.
No, okay, but then the thing is, in America, all the portions are bigger, right? And so the patties are going to be thicker, but it's probably going to be more expensive too.
Yeah, it's like, I think, if I remember correctly, it was around $13.
Oh, no way, dude. That's like what is it? 4,000원, I think, for a bulgogi burger here in Korea.
But because the Korean bulgogi burger has a really thin patty, and there's like virtually no like lettuce or vegetables in it.
But this is kind of like a...
so they're like keeping it Korean. Yeah, but upgrading the burgers for the, U.S. market. And, it's not just the bulgogi burger. They're also selling rice burgers, like the Jeonju bibim rice burger. They already sold it in Korea. And then they're selling shrimp burgers and... kind of a legendary burger for burger lovers in Korea, the Pulse burger. Have you heard about it?
Of course.
Yeah. So it disappeared from Korean menus last year, but it's making a comeback in the US. And the menu also has like BBQ bowls, seasoned fries, like 뿌링클 sauce on it. Yeah, and Korean style shaved ice or bingsu. They're really localizing it in very interesting ways.
One thing Lotteria used to do that they don't do anymore. That's the only and the only reason why I don't eat Lotteria anymore is they used to do a great breakfast sandwich.
Really?
Like the best, and they stopped. And ever since then, I've been boycotting them. But this is more K-food center than I thought it would be.
Yeah. And that's their strategy, like positioning themselves as the leader of the K-burger movement. Instead of like competing directly with famous U.S. franchises like...
Five Guys.
Can you name a few?
Five Guys, In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Shake Shack. Shake Shack's another one.
Do you like any of those?
Five Guys is all right.
I can't have Five Guys because they use peanut oil.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but like, instead of, competing with those with the same style of burger, they're going for, Koreanish sweet and spicy sauces, rice patties, and, flavors that feel distinctly Korean that, the U.S. market won't be so familiar with.
Which makes sense because you have to kind of set yourself apart from all the other burger joints that they have in the U.S.
Exactly, and it also fits into a bigger trend we've been seeing lately, Korean food that was influenced by American tastes that are going back to America.
So like reverse importing, basically.
Exactly. It's not just Lotteria. Korean-style corn dogs have exploded in the U.S. over the past few years. You've probably seen the ones, with mozzarella cheese inside, potato cubes stuck to the batter. Yeah, so, and, that's not your typical American corn dog. You'd know better, but, the original U.S. version is more of, a fairground snack.
Yeah.
It's just a hot dog dipped in cornmeal batter, but Korean street vendors took that idea and started adding sugar, sauces, cheese, sweet potato, normal potato, even squid ink batter. Like the photo we're showing right now is, just classic Korean corn dogs. And, a chain called Two Hand Corn Dogs took that idea and opened its first store in California in 2019 and now has over 70 locations across the U.S. So Americans really like the Korean style hot dog. And again, it's reverse importing.
It's actually funny because my son the other day, he was like, I like the American hot dogs.
Really?
I was like, really?
It's plain.
He's like, just with ketchup. I was like, really? That's so much better. It has sugar too.
Actually, I prefer like the plain one.
Me too. I mean, I like American hot dogs. I actually don't really eat that. But when I had the potato hot dog for the first time, the Korean hot dog,
it's really good.
Oh my goodness.
It was so good.
I was a game changer. And I gained a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So Korean food isn't just going she wasn't even hearing what I say. She was like, yeah. Oh, oops. Angela, listen to what I say before you react.
No, that was my real reaction.
Oh, it was? Oh, no. I thought he was just okay. So, Angela,
Yes.
Korean food isn't just going global.
Yes.
It's transforming as it travels.
Exactly. And Loteria, seems to be betting that Americans, especially with younger people who are already into K-pop, K-dramas, will be open to trying a K-burger as well.
I mean, they're waiting in line
Yeah.
like around the block for Loteria. So, I mean, it's a good sign.
Yeah, I guess. And, we'll have to see how it goes after the official opening. But yeah, I think it'll do good.
All right, there you have it. We'll continue to talk about this craze, but first, let's take a listen to a song here from Dynamic Duo featuring PH1 and Junie with Pitapa. It's Dynamic Duo featuring PH1 and Junie with Pitapa, which I was going to ask you, what is Pitapa? Pizza,
Taco.
and pasta.
Yay.
I like all three.
And also hamburgers were in the lyrics.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I especially like tacos.
Me too.
Man, I've been having a lot of tacos these days. We talked about Lotteria's big U.S. debut and the reverse imported foods like the Korean hot dogs or corn dogs, however you want to call it. But what else is a Korean food that's now popular overseas?
So take 부대찌개. Do you like it?
I do.
Yeah, so it's army stew called. It's full of American ingredients like Spam, again hot dogs, and baked beans. Things that came to Korea through U.S. military bases in the 1950s. But over time, Koreans turned it into a uniquely Korean dish, by adding kimchi, tofu, gochugaru, broth. And now it's a hit with foreign tourists and even showing up on menus overseas. So I guess we could call that a case of reverse importing.
Yeah,
as
I mean,
well.
it did start off as like an American influence. Again, those canned goods,
Yeah.
right? Coming all from like the U.S. militaries. But now it feels Korean enough to export back.
Exactly. And the same with fried chicken. You go Korean style fried chicken. The basic frying technique came from the American South, but, finger looking good. But Korea's soy garlic, spicy yangnyeom versions are completely different from American fried chicken. And again, now hugely popular worldwide. Foreign tourists are always calling it a must-eat when they visit Korea.
Can I be very, very controversial?
Why?
I like Southern fried chicken more.
Me too.
I just the
I
buttermilk batter,
I like the soggy.
soggy.
Like it's kind of the buttermilk batter ones.
Yeah. No, it's crispy.
It's crispy, but
and
it's more
very well seasoned.
But it's like more rich in flavor.
Yeah. I don't know what you guys feed. What you feed the chickens over in the U.S., but it's also ginormous there. But what's the bigger picture here, though?
Well, yeah, Korean food has been steadily growing in the U.S. for years. First, it was Korean-style barbecue, then fried chicken, and then tteokbokki, and now even desserts like bingsu.
All right.
Now, Korean-style burgers are joining the list. According to a U.S. market research company, the number of Korean restaurants in America grew by 10% last year, and chains adding Korean items like fried chicken or corn dogs went up by 15%.
That's a lot of growth.
And there's a cultural factor as well. The younger generation in the United States has been heavily influenced by social media trends from Korea. TikTok videos of Korean food get millions of views, and K-pop fans often want to try the snacks and meals their idols eat, or in the case these days, K-pop demon hunters eat.
What do you eat?
Because they eat like kimbap and really a lot of Korean food, which has also been gaining a lot of traction these days.
Makes sense though, and then also like, cause I'm a wine connoisseur. Like if BTS drinks a certain wine, like it goes off the shelves. So they look at everything that BTS watches, but
Yeah.
also what if BTS eats it?
Yeah.
They want to eat it too.
Exactly.
홍어? You guys eat 홍어? BTS, you guys eat 홍어?
Yeah, and there's a kind, besides that as well, there's a kind of, a fun element to Korean street food. It's very colorful, it's
Yeah.
very customizable,
Yeah.
it's also very Instagram friendly.
It is.
And, that's a big reason why the Korean hot dog, corn dog trend caught on so fast in the US as well. So, yeah.
It is true. I mean, like, because the U.S. also has corn dogs.
Yeah.
But it's different.
Yeah, it's just basic, really.
Yeah, it is very, very basic. Although, I have to say, one thing that I miss about, speaking of street food, you know what knish is?
No.
Oh my goodness. Knish is like crispy outside pocket with like mashed potatoes almost inside. Bruce, you know what a knish is, right?
Is that like a New York food?
It's knish isn't like a knish like a newish New York Jewish food, I think it is.
That's the thing, like in other parts of the States, I think you don't really have street food per se.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, they didn't have street food in Madison.
yeah, you guys, yeah, that's true. You guys,
Yeah.
corns. But this isn't just about selling K burgers, right? This is really selling the whole K food experience.
Exactly, 롯데ria with the Korean sign. Yeah, the fact that they're also bringing back discontinued Korea menu items like the pulseburger, I think speaks to that as well. It's something so Korean and special that not even Koreans can access.
Yeah.
So yeah, would you try out the U.S. chain if you had a
Are
chance?
they gonna bring back the breakfast burgers, the breakfast sandwiches?
Just for U.S. chain.
That's the only thing I want. That's the only thing that's good. Do you think this K burger wave will last though?
It's, hard to say. I do think it will, but, food trends can be short-lived. But the Korean wave overall has been going strong for over a decade now. And, unlike a single viral dish, burgers are a staple in, the American diet. So, I don't know, maybe it might become a staple on the American dining table as well. You might see a 롯데ria in American TV shows.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
And then all the U.S. Army will eat 군대리야. Angela, thank you very much for today's tidbit. Have a fantastic rest of your night. We'll see you again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Sending her out of the studios. Take a listen to a song here from A-Pink with Yummy. All right, it's time for our weekdays coffee break. Today's tidbit. Joining us in the studio, Angela. Angela, hello to you.
Hi, SJ.
Angela, I'm really upset.
Why?
I thought I was going to really like this song, Kwonjina White Wine.
Because it has wine in
Yeah, I
it.
thought she was going to talk about what white wine she likes. Is it a Pullini Montrachet? Is it a Chablis? Is it a Sauvignon Blanc? She goes, this white wine might try our minds, right? That's it.
Thank God you're not a lyricist, SJ.
I thought she was going to be like, Chablis, you're so lovely. Sauvignon Blanc, my mind's going blank. No?
Try being a poet.
I'm so upset. There's a lot of wine-related songs out there. Anyways.
Really?
Yes. What's her name? Who's that lady singer that sings really well? Rolling in the Deep. Adele. Adele has a song.
About wine.
It's called I Drink Wine.
Oh.
Taylor Swift talks a lot about wine in her songs. Don't ask me how I know this. That's my tidbit. What's your tidbit? Random tidbit.
Yes.
My son, before he was born, we have this thing called taemyeong in Korean. It's like prenatal name.
Yeah. Well, a nickname you give your baby before you actually name them.
It was 광복이.
Really?
Yes. Because he was due for March 1st, which is the March 1st Independence Movement Day.
Yeah.
And also to be liberated from his mother's womb.
Was he born on March 1st?
No, he was born on March 5th. He was late. He didn't want to come out. We had to induce him. But anyways,
Yes.
This is celebrated in both North and South Korea
Yes.
because it was when Korea was won.
Exactly. In the north, it's called 조국 해방의 날. But here in South Korea, it's called 광복절. And it's a deeply emotional day. And this year's events are especially meaningful. For example, just a few days ago, the remains of 6 independence patriots were brought back to their homeland in Korea after decades abroad.
That's incredible. And I
Yes.
think it's important that we say the names. Tell us who they were.
Yes, the 6 figures were 문양목, 김덕윤, 김기주, 한응규, 임창모, and Kim Jae-eun. During Japanese occupation, they were active in places like the United States, Canada, and even Brazil, dedicating their lives to the independence movement. But sadly, they died overseas and never saw a liberated Korea.
And again, and that's the sad part, is that the very people who fought the hardest for the independence of Korea never saw the liberated Korea, right? But so how did their remains finally come home after all these years?
So this is part of an ongoing government effort since 1946 to repatriate the remains of independence activists. In 문양목's case, there were no surviving family members, so the government actually filed a lawsuit in a U.S. court backed by over 1,000 signatures from the Korean American community. And his will stated, "When independence comes, I wish to return to my homeland. In Korean, 우리는 곧 독립할 것이니 그때가 되면 반드시 고국으로 돌아가길 원한다. And that was a decisive piece of evidence in his return.
It's a will. I mean, wills. It's a legal document.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Very powerful, Angela.
Yeah, and when their remains arrived at Incheon International Airport, they were honored with the Guard of Honor from the Ministry of National Defense and greeted at a ceremony called Steps Toward the Homeland, the Unfinished Road. They were then buried at the Daejeon National Cemetery with the Order of Merit for National Foundation placed on their graves. So I think it's great that they finally were able to return, even if it's after their death.
It is long time coming. Right?
Yes.
But I think it's still important that eventually their wishes were granted. A very fitting tribute.
Yes, I agree. And there's one more symbolic moment tied to this year's Liberation Day. A historic calligraphy work by independence activist An Jung-gun has finally returned to Korea after 115 years. I prepared a photo of it for anyone who's tuning in on YouTube. They can see it. He wrote it shortly before his execution in 1910 at Lushan Prison in China. The piece reads, 큰 소리로 길게 탄식하고 일본의 멸망을 미리 주문한다, which means in English, with a long sigh, I express my condolences to Japan in advance, which is a really strong message that, while he was even facing death, it, just spoke to his unshaken spirit and vision for history. And here is the photo of the calligraphy that has returned. And you can see his iconic, hand mark at the bottom.
That's right. That's after he cut off a piece of his finger. And An Jung-gun was known for many things, but he was also known as a very talented calligrapher.
Exactly.
And so you can't really put a price
on
something like this. I don't know if anyone owns this. Like, if there's any private collectors out there who owns a piece of his calligraphy, there probably isn't. But it's just, you can't put a price on something like this. And it's just remarkable. But tell us, though, we talked about before how it's hard to get things like this returned back to Korea. How is this returned?
So it said An gave this work to a senior Japanese official overseeing Lushan prison before his death. The official's descendants kept it in Japan for over a century until a Korean private research team located it and began negotiations to bring it back in time for Korea's 80th Liberation Day. With the help of Gyeonggi-do province earlier this year, the piece was finally brought home.
And who decided to give it up?
Exactly.
Right. I think that's also a unsung hero there. But I know today isn't just about looking back.
Yes.
There's also a lot happening around Seoul this month as a whole.
Yes, absolutely. All August, the city of Seoul is hosting cultural and artistic events to honor the 80th anniversary of Korea's liberation. One big highlight is at Loder Island, Loder섬, where they've wrapped the Lifehouse building in the design of the 진관사 태극기. That is one of the oldest surviving Korean flags. I also prepared a photo of it, and you can see today a lot of people will be waving this flag. I saw a lot of photos on my way to work today, and they're also displaying 16 historic 태극기 flags dating back as far as the 1880s, so you can literally walk through 140 years of flag history if you're in Seoul during the month of August.
I mean, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit different from the modern 태극기 that we know.
All the foundations are there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is, I don't know why it looks so beautiful today. Maybe
because it's Liberation Day.
That's right.
You're Korean at heart, SJ.
Well, I mean, the blood is
Yes.
is Korean, right? But speaking of 태극기, though.
Yes.
You talked about, do we talk about the 16 historic 태극기s?
Yes, and it's a very emotional sight. Yeah, and they even set up a massive 태극기 on the lawn with 1,000 pinwheel flags spinning in the breeze. And across the city of Seoul, from Gwanghwamun to Seoul Library, you'll see giant flags and symbolic displays that stop people in their tracks.
What other ceremonies are being held? Because again, it is a major holiday. I feel like there are so many events taking place all throughout the city and of course around the world, around the country too.
Yeah, and also the number 80. It just really
Yeah.
seems historic. And so to commemorate all that, there's the famous bell ringing ceremony. Since 1949, the Poshingak bell has been rung every Liberation Day at 11:30 a.m. So this year, Seoul's mayor, descendants of independence activists, and 3 special guests from overseas, all related to patriots, participated in the event. They rang the bell 33 times, followed by a choir of over 230 singers performing the official Gwangbokjeol song.
Man, what, the whole time you're talking about 80 being a significant number, it is, right? It's like, 8 decades. I was like, man, the 100th anniversary is going to come, and it's going to be so special, and I'm going to be 59.
Special year for you too, SJ. Last year of your 50s.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But it sounds like a very full day,
Yes,
Angela.
and actually we're just getting started. There's also, a special music, theater, and even K-pop tied into the celebration of Korea's National Liberation Day. So why don't we get into that after a song break?
All right, we'll take a listen to a song here from Day 6 with Free Hage. And that was Day 6 with Free Hage. Freely is the English title. Sukasa says, I love this song. I have to say, it's the first time I'm listening to it.
I mean, I chose this song because of the title, Free to Freely. Because thanks to,
We've been talking about Gwangbokjeol and what's
Yes.
being done nationwide to commemorate the 80th anniversary of Liberation Day. You mentioned music, theater events for the Gwangbokjeol. What's on the lineup?
So quite a bit. One notable performance is the musical Train Number 37, a joint creation between Korean and Kazakhstani artists. It's being staged on August 14th and 15th at Taekno Theater Quad before touring in Central Asia. And, it's all about Korea's liberation. So that is also a very interesting one.
I think there's something that you should know. Kazakhstani artists are involved with this because Kazakhstan, that around that area, is a significant area during the Japanese colonial
Yes,
times.
exactly. I'm
But
glad you mentioned it.
yeah. It's not like random. Like let's
It's not random.
find some random artists out there in Kazakhstan. Cool international connection, though.
Yes, and later today, the Seoul Philharmonic Orchestra is holding a free Liberation Day concert at the Seoul Art Center 예술의 전당, just down the street for us. Pianist Kim Tae-hyung and 검은고 virtuoso Oh Kyung-ja will perform under conductor Choi Soo-yeol.
Ooh, what else?
And tomorrow, on August 16th, there's 파리로 서울 My Soul, which is a massive outdoor concert at Seoul Plaza with top musical theater stars such as Yang Jun-mo, Min Woo-hyuk, and Lina. And Yang Jun-mo, I think, is worth mentioning because he was also the original cast of the musical Yeongwon, which is about An Jung-gun.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, there was, some changes here and there. I mean, it's still going. I think Yeongwon's still going on. Is it still going on?
Yeongwon, comes on
and off,
returns fairly often.
Yeah. It's one of the most popular musicals here in Korea, and that's a lot of live performances, Angela.
Yeah, and here's a highlight. There's even a brand new commemorative K-pop track called Keep the Light, released just yesterday on August 14th. It's produced by EJ, who also worked on the Billboard-topping OST for K-pop Demon Hunters. The song's lyrics honor the spirit of liberation, and all the proceeds from the song will go to support descendants of independence activists.
That's amazing. Now, will the song be performed live?
Yes, the project group for the song Keep the Light Today will debut it tonight at Gwanghwamun during the 80 Years of Liberation, Building the Future with Sovereignty Festival. The group also filmed their preparation process for YouTube, showing everything from songwriting to visiting historical sites. So yeah, that is something also to look forward to.
Again, I mean, there's so much performances that are going on right now, and it's incredible. And when you talk about all the things that you could check out, especially because today, this year, the Liberation Day fell on a Friday.
Yes.
Which means you have the Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
Yes.
You have 3-day weekend. There's a lot to do there.
Yeah.
So for people that, let's say, want to reflect on the history more quietly, right?
Yes.
There are exhibitions to check
Yeah,
out.
and if you haven't traveled and you still have time left over in
Sure.
Seoul, you can go to the Seoul Museum of History, which is running Our Liberation Day, featuring citizen-donated items.
Ooh.
And 경교장 is hosting Liberation on the Threshold of the End and the Beginning in Korean 광복 끝과 시작의 문턱에서, about the provisional government's return to Korea after 광복 or liberation. And also there are art exhibitions like 서시 with a heart that sings to the stars, or in Korean 서시 별을 노래하는 마음으로, which is from a poem written by Yoon Dong-ju.
Very famous poet.
Very famous poet during, the colonial
Yep.
period. And that exhibition is held at the Seoul Museum of Art, which is about Korea's history. And this one will be held until October, to commemorate the 80th anniversary. So you don't have to go this weekend, but it's good to keep in mind.
If I remember correctly, there's also a movie called Dongju, right?
Yes, there is a movie called Dongju. And it's in black and white, and it's a very moving film.
Yeah, so again, it's about Yoon Dong-ju, who is a renowned poet
Yes.
during the colonial times. For anyone at home, let's say,
Yes.
like me, I'll be home after this. There's always the option to watch a drama or a movie.
Yes, I think it's great because, you get a sense of the period, you get interested in the history. So some titles I recommend just from the top of my head are dramas like Mr. Sunshine, a classic, and films like The Age of Shadows, 밀정. It has a very strong opening sequence. Assassination Amsal, the one you just mentioned in today's opening, and of course the musical film 영웅, which is based off the musical theater production. And all these films, they capture the struggles, the sacrifices, and the personal stories of the independence movement as well. Have you watched all of these films?
I've watched Amsal.
Only Amsal?
I've watched it many times, actually.
Maybe you should go home and watch 밀정 today.
You know what I would do? Can I recommend another drama to watch if you're big on, not really independence, but about the Japanese colonial time and the unsung heroes who fought for Korea?
Which one?
야인시대.
That works, I guess.
The era of unrefined man, I think, is the English title. It's
Really?
Yes. That's what it is.
The era of unrefined man.
I think that's the English title. They did a what is it? They have it on the OTT platform,
Yes.
Netflix, right now, and I think they did. What's that called when they make the visuals a little better?
Remastering.
Oh yeah, they remastered it, and so.
Yeah, that's not what I had in mind. Go home and watch 밀정. That's my recommendation
Kim
today.
Jajin Jangun comes out, General Kim Jajin comes out, and of course his son Kim Do-han,
Yes.
who is often called 장군의 아들, which is another movie that you can watch. But he was a gangster
Yeah.
who later on kind of fought against the Japanese yakuza, and later on he did some stuff to fight
Oh
for.
yeah, there is an iconic scene where he fights off the Japanese yakuza.
Yes, he fights off like 50 yakuzas.
Yeah.
I don't know if it really happened in real life. And then it gets later on to like the Korean War and stuff like that. But
It is a very long drama. The films I recommended are more shorter ones. And then more recent picks include the drama 경성 크리처.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, 경성 Creature and 하얼빈, which is about An Jong-gun. This
Yeah.
one was more recently released. And also heartfelt films, which we just mentioned earlier. Dongju, The Portrait of a Poet, and I Can't Speak, which is set in modern times but is about Korea's past. So I think these are all really good picks. And of course, you can watch SJ's recommendation.
The Era of the Unrefined Man is the English title, ladies and gentlemen. It's a long watch, but it's good.
I recommend 밀정.
I recommend 야인시대. I'm watching it still right now. I only picked the fight scenes, by the way. It's a good fight scene. So this is a whole month's worth of ways to remember Korea's liberation.
Absolutely. And that is the spirit. Liberation Day isn't just one date in history. It's a reminder of the sacrifices that shape the Korea we live in today.
Exactly. Well put, Angela. Angela, thank you so much for this. I thank you so much for coming in on Liberation Day.
Thank you for
have a
having me.
fantastic weekend. We'll see you again next week.
See you next week.